Hello, my name is Last Stand of Mitchery, man. This is my 14th ever Bold and the Beautiful review episode for the episode that aired on Wednesday, May 3rd, 2023. And well, before I get into this episode, as some of you may know, I've been keeping account of how long Thomas has not been on this program, and I'm up to like 4 days, and I'm up to 4 days. It's been 4 days because I forgot to mention that he also wasn't on Thursday. The last time he was on was literally was like a week ago today. So if he would have missed today's episode, he would have been off for 5 days because he wasn't on Friday, Monday, or Tuesday. Today would have been four. Oh wait, no, today would have been four. But sadly, Thomas was back. The worst character on this show, the person least important to the show, and the guy who ruins everything. But before I get into the show, I would like to first stress this that I probably never fully said before. But what I'm about to say, if you're a Hope and Thomas fan, what I'm about to say, probably you won't like, and you definitely most likely won't agree with. Even if you're a Thomas fan, you won't agree with. You won't agree with it. Even though I have tried to explain multiple times in the past that I used to be a Thomas fan up until 2019. I don't know how many more different ways I can say that. But since then, I don't like Thomas. I hate him. I hate his character. But I would like to stress that what am I about to say about Thomas, Hope, and even Doug was at a certain point in this program, in this review. I have no. This is not my opinion of these three people as of these three actors, Anna, Matthew, and Henry. I have nothing against those people. Got nothing against Matthew as a person. I mean, it's not his fault Thomas is a psychopath. I mean, that's Brad Bell's fault for writing him that way. Got nothing against Anna Noel. It's not her fault Hope's an idiot. That's basically her character. And it's definitely not Henry's fault that Doug is basically a mini version of Thomas. So I would like to stress that my opinions, my viewpoint, my opinions on Hope, Douglas, and Thomas has nothing to do with the three people who play them. This is just my opinion on the fictional characters that I have a review channel about now. That's all this is. So I would like for no one to think that I got anything against the actors, even if you already know that. I would just like to stress that. I would just like to stress that. I got nothing against anyone who plays anyone on this show. Well, except for maybe Carter, because apparently the guy that plays him, Victor, does white on this program. So I don't know why his character's an idiot. But even so, maybe he's not allowed to white for his own character. And I don't know how he whites on the show, but he'd be the closest. He'd be the closest. He'd be the only person on here who I could see, who you could kind of talk about as a whiter, because he does white for the program. But other than that, not much. So I would just like to stress that again. That what I'm about to say about these three people have nothing to do with the people who play them. Got nothing to do with Matthew, Anna, or Henry as people. I don't know. I don't know any of these people. I don't know any of those. I don't know any of those people. I've never met any of those three people in my entire life. I don't think I ever will meet those people. So I got nothing against them. I don't even know them, and I think they're all phenomenal actors. And one great actress too. I think she's great. You know, it's not her fault. I mean, you gotta be able to. You gotta have some type of character. You gotta have some type of personality to be able to play Hope, and she got it. But yeah, I would just like to stress that none of what I'm about to say should be taken as if I'm going after the actors who play these characters. I just want to stress that because I feel like some people think that that's what I'm doing here, and I'm not. I'm just giving my opinions on these fictional characters. But now that my like 4 minutes and 10 seconds soliloquy is over, getting into this episode of Bold and the Beautiful. My thoughts on this episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. My thoughts. Well, Thomas was back, and well, as you all know, that means that this episode sucks. That make this episode so much worse. Other than again, Charlie was also on, and even he couldn't save this from being a crap episode because whenever Thomas is on, he just sucks the life out of everything. But let's get into it. So it opens up with RJ and Eric and Widge and I'm like, oh great, Widge is back. Is he gonna complain? Is he gonna try to complain about? He's gonna try to go, RJ, you should walk with us. RJ's like, no, Dad, I've told you this like five times. And apparently he's bad for like a week now, so that's fun. So Eric's like, what's up, RJ? And like, oh, you've seen each other, I guess. I mean, you literally seem like the worst grandpa in the world at this point. I mean, jeez. Eric, I mean, I would hate to have Eric as a grandpa, especially if I left for like 5 years and came back. I mean, that would suck, you know. He doesn't care enough to see me until now. Granted, I don't know what it's like to have a grandpa like as an adult because my grandpa died when I was 7. So I only knew what it was like to have a grandpa until I was 7. So you know. But RJ is talking about something about being an influencer, and then him and Eric hug and they go, "Welcome back." So then we cut to Deacon, and he's talking with a guy, and he's talking with a guy. And this guy is, I don't know who this guy, I have no idea what this guy's name, and I can barely say his name, so I'm just going to say the guy with Deacon, but he's talking about pizza, and I really enjoyed this because I love food. Anytime food's on a soap opera, I'm fully engaged. So that was cool. And then when the guy left later on, I was sad. I'm like, oh man, there goes one of my favorite characters. He's already leaving. Please come back. You got to help save the show from Thomas. And now let's get into the meat of the matter. Everybody's favorite, some people's favorite guy, Thomas, baby liar, obsessed with Hope, Vinny, killed Emma, obsessive Thomas Forrester. Getting into Thomas. So Thomas and Hope are back. And once again, they gotta be on screen together. So once again, Hope is the most unlikable person on planet Earth. She is so unlikable when she's around Thomas. God Lord, she's unlikable. She just comes off as dumb, stupid, and unlikable when she's with Thomas. Like legitimately, I think to myself, does she have a brain? A functional brain? Or has Thomas been so bad to her for these past 4 years that she physically has lost it? Because whenever she's with Thomas, she is a completely different person, and not in a good way. She just seems like a woman who is mentally checked out. So they're talking about fashion. I'm like, I don't know much about fashion. If you see my clothes, if you seen what I've worn on these videos, I've got like 4 different pairs of clothes, and you can see that for the intro. You can see that for the thumbnails of my video. I got like 5 different pairs of clothes. That's literally how many pajamas I have. I got like 6 different pajamas. I don't care what I wear. I just wake up and put something on. Honestly, that's my thing. So I know nothing about fashion. All I know is that Thomas designs suck. And I wouldn't wear those. If he designed a suit, I wouldn't wear it. I wouldn't give these dresses to anyone I love for a present. No, your designs suck, Thomas. There's no color. There's one dress that's too colorful. I mean, I know. My problem with Thomas is that all of his designs are bland and they all look the same and they are boring and bland, kind of like him. My big problem now is that there's too much color. You don't need. This is not the rainbow. Thomas, this is a dress. You have a primary color, then you have a secondary color, and then maybe you have a thirdary color. You know, remember that dress that some people thought it was black and gold, and other people thought it was like blue and gold. Remember that dress? That's something I'm talking about. I mean, I got like 5 different clothes, so what do I know? Also, Crimson Tigers, 2016 National College Football Champions. Great football team. That's gonna come into play when I make a joke later. So they're talking about that. Then the conversation goes to everybody's favorite, the other person who we haven't seen in like a month. Everybody's favorite say it with me, people. What is Hope? What is Douglas to Hope? Her fake son. I should make that a t-shirt. So anyways, Hope and Thomas are talking about the fake son Douglas, and apparently Hope and Douglas went to some type of game. What game? Baseball, basketball, football, rugby, soccer, hockey. What other games are there? Badminton, dodgeball, golf. What game did you go to? Did you just go to a game of like 15 different sports and you had hot dogs? Then they start talking about hot dogs, and Thomas is like, Hope's like, you let Douglas eat a lot of hot dogs. Why why did she sound like a woman yelling at her son? She didn't sound like a woman yelling at the guy who she shares a kid with. She sounded like some of the time when my mom used to get mad at me when I was little. She was like, Michael, what did you do? What did you do? She's like, what did you do here? She's like, why are you so stupid sometimes? Granted, my mom never called me stupid. But still, other than that, that's not what I'm here to talk about. But yeah, it did not come off to me as a woman talking to a guy she clearly cares about. It came off to me as a woman talking to a guy who had basically emotionally abused her for 4 years. But other than that, they're talking about Douglas, and throughout this whole thing, I'm like, I don't care. This is stupid. This is dumb. This is boring. Can we go to literally anything else? So then we come back to RJ, and Eric is apparently going away for a meeting. And apparently RJ told Eric, I can help you with your job. Like what? I'm like, RJ, this is a meeting. This is a meeting for a bunch of witch people. I don't think they care about the lighting. This is a meeting on a video cam. I don't think they care about the lighting. RJ, this is a meeting on a video cam. I don't think no one cares about the lighting, dude. No one cares about the lighting. This is a video meeting with a bunch of people. No one cares about the lighting. So anyway, they're talking. Eric leaves. He's like, I got a friend who showed me I already know how to do it. So then we get Count Bootham, the comedian guy who real name I can't say either. I'm very bad at names, so Count Bootshaw, I think his name. So he comes in with his grandson, and I already like this guy. He's already funny. He's a sommelier, which means he likes wine. So hey. That's cool, I guess, if you're into wine. I only been able to drink since February, but still. So he comes in, Deacon's like, show me the money. And so the guy comes in, did someone say my favorite line? Like, I already like this guy. I already liked him on Good Times, And his grandson's he's already more likable and more funny than Thomas. He's already more likable than Thomas. He's already more talented than Thomas. He's already he's better looking than Thomas. I mean, I'm not gay, but I'm just saying. He's funnier than Tommy. Well, I mean, he's a comedian in real life. Of course, he's funny. He's literally his job is to be funny. What else? I'm sure his grandson probably. I'm sure biologically that's his grandson. I'm sure he doesn't have a fake son with anybody. And I'm sure he can make a joke about it. So anyway, they're talking. So then we cut back to Hope and Thomas. And now let's get to the creepy part. About this episode. Hope and Thomas talking about the Brother Day shell. So they're talking about the Brother Day shell. And where all I was thinking throughout this is creepy. I know they're not. I know RJ. I know Hope and Thomas are not related. But the fact that they share a brother. To me, don't care if this is a soap opera, don't care if this is fiction, don't care about any of that. That makes them being together even creepier. Even if you took everything else out of it. If you took out the whole thing in 2019, 2020, 2021, 22. Now, if you took all of that out, if you removed everything from the situation, if you removed Liam from the situation, if you took everything this situation had and you removed it all completely, I would still have the same opinion that I have now. Hope and Thomas should never be together. Because it's just creepy. It promotes a lot of horrible things. But the one thing it promotes is not caring about other people. Because I don't care what anybody says. A dude in a soap opera, a dude whose sister and brother get together is creepy. It's creepy. Point blank. It's creepy. It's creepy. Even if they're not related, it's creepy. It'd be creepy to anybody. But more so than that, the dude lied about a daughter being dead for months. I don't care if it was 4 years ago. That was still wrong. And it's not just that. It's the fact that these Hope and Thomas fans refuse to listen to reason, refuse to acknowledge anything bad Thomas has ever done. They refuse to even go back and watch the episodes, go back and watch the program, and even admit to themselves that Thomas is a horrible person. They just love to blame Liam for cheating on Hope a decade ago with a completely different actress. Like, what do you people want here? I don't get it. What do you people want here? But other than that, also they're just stupid. Also, they're just ugly together. They have no chemistry. They have chemistry, but it comes off as two people who hate each other. They have the chemistry of two people who hate each other. They have the same chemistry I had. They have the same chemistry I had with. They have the same chemistry I had with this guy named Hunter Dalton. Good Lord, that guy was an asshole. Good Lord, that guy was a jackass. Good Lord, that guy was a complete and utter jackass. God, I hate God. I did not like that guy. I put him into a locker. Would have done more, but the teacher stopped me. They had that same energy that me and everyone else had with Hunter. He was just a jackass. Now, granted, later on I found that he wasn't that bad of a dude, like when we got to high school. But still, doesn't change the fact that in 8th grade he was a jackass. But that's the energy they have. Two people who clearly should not be interacting with each other. And I don't like this scenes together when them talking about Douglas or them talking about how, you know, I don't know how to say this without sounding like an idiot, but oh well. Oh yeah, you can read my mind. We have so much in common, blah, blah, blah. Shut up. What do you people have in common other than RJ and your fake son Douglas? Huh? What else do you people have in common? Do you know his favorite color? Do you know how old do you know how old he is? Also, that's just a serial. How old is Tommy? Like 50? How old is Tommy? Like 42? Like 35? Now I'm asking how old is Thomas technically, not how old he acts, because he acts like an idiot. I told you there was going to be a lot of Thomas bashing in this episode, so if you like Thomas, you may not want to listen. So other than that, they're talking, now they bring up RJ and they talk about RJ and Hope's like, so are you happy RJ back? And Tom is like, sure I am. He doesn't come off as someone sincere. And I think that that's another reason why Hope's eventually not going to do anything about her feelings for Thomas. Because eventually RJ and Thomas are going to clash. And I don't care what anybody says. I don't even think Brad Bell is dumb enough to have Hope pick Thomas over RJ. Without being manipulated like she always is. But I don't even think Brad Bell is going to do that. I don't even think Brad Bell is going to do that. Because if you go back and watch the show long enough, one thing about Hope, whatever you want to say about her, she has always clearly been shown to love her siblings. She's always clearly been shown to love her older brother Wick. She's always clearly been shown to love RJ too, so. That's the one thing about Hope's character no one can deny. That she does love her siblings. She does love her siblings. That's apparently the only people she actually loves at most of the time, you know. So I don't even think Brad Bell would write it that way. I don't think Hope would pick Thomas over RJ. That's just my opinion. So they're talking. Thomas is like, no, I do like him. I mean, he did try to change the conversation. Well, I'm sure Brooke's happy. I'm sure my dad's happy. We're not talking about them. We're talking about you, dude. How do you feel? You know, called therapy that you're supposedly in? You know, honestly, this whole reviewing thing is kind of like therapy for me, because I get out all my aggression and all my anger about how much Thomas is such a horrible person. It really works, so I don't gotta complain to my parents about it. So they're really happy. I'm really happy that I do this now. They're so happy that I do this now. Now I complain about it on the internet. So they're talking about that, and I'm like, I don't care. So then we cut back to Eric. Then we cut back to RJ. Eric's gone to his meeting with a bunch of witch people who apparently need lighting. So before that, Charlie shows up. I love Charlie Weber. Great man. Apparently Pam is still on the show, even though she's technically on General Hospital. Although what happened showed up. So maybe, could we get Pam back? Amy Mills, please come back. We need you now more than ever. Please come back. This is a Senate. Please come back. Someone try to get this video to him. I beg you, please come back. Also, if you could get a bunch of other people to come back as well, I would much appreciate it. Because this show needs new characters. Or old characters. We just need more people on this program. The more the better. So Charlie's talking to them. He go, the OG boss, the boss have a meeting. And he's like, I don't have a meeting. Oh no, yeah, Bridge, you're not the boss. You and your daughter are. He's like the OG boss, the original boss, the founder of the company. You know, suppose your father, but as some of you may know, Eric biologically is not Ridge's father, which is where you know the Maroney bastard comes from Wick. So technically, none of these people are biologically Forresters. RJ, Thomas, Steffi, Widge, none of these people are Forrester by blood. Now, granted, Eric did adopt Widge out of his own free will. He wasn't manipulated into doing. He didn't think any of his kids were dead. But still, people, by blood, biologically and by blood, Widge and his family are not Forresters. If you was to think about, if you was to say that they're Forresters by blood, you would be lying. But Charlie said the OG boss got it, and I love that. I'm happy we can finally acknowledge that Eric is the founder of this company, because that seemed to be forgotten during the whole Eric and Zende clearly suck at design. Also, Hope and Thomas, please stop bullying poor Zende. Leave the poor man alone. It's not his fault his character has been ruined. That's Brad Bell's fault. He's also the reason why your guys' character sucks too. Stop bullying that poor man. What did poor Zende ever do to you guys? That's just sad. You think Hope would like Zende more, considering she has a fake son and he was adopted by people who loved him and wanted him. You know, at least his parents chose him out of their own free will. Unlike you, Hope, who got manipulated into becoming Douglas's fake mommy because you thought your daughter was dead. And then you married Thomas. And then you made Liam watch it. You made us all watch it. God, that was a horrible episode. You know, I've only ever seen that episode 5 times the whole time. Once when it aired, once in a week, once it aired to that blog thing. Once again in 2020 because I was bored and I needed something to laugh at. Once in 2021 because I found it on accident. And the last time I saw it was mid 2022. Was in 2022 because I was bored and I lost a competition to my friend. Well, I had 2 choices. I could either A, jump in a pile of fire ants, or B, I could go watch the Hope and Thomas wedding episode. And well, as much as I would hate to jump, and well, I went with the Hope and Thomas wedding episode because I'm like, well, at least I can get a good laugh out of this. Jumping in fire ants would suck. So I got a good laugh out of that. That was the only 5 times I've ever seen those episodes. And I will continue to say that episode is the worst 19 minutes in human history. Well, in television history, not human history, because, you know, World War I, II, the Holocaust, you know. That is the worst 19 minutes in television history. That is the worst soap opera episode of all time. That is the worst 19 minutes in television history. There has never been a worse than 19 minutes than that episode. Well, you know, with that disgusting episode. It took me 5 days to finish it because I was so disgusted by it. That's not a joke. I took 5 days to finish it. I had to watch it 5 different times. Midway for one of them, I busted a wall because I was so annoyed by it. But clearly I've mellowed out since then. I don't hate Thomas as much as I used to, believe it or not. But I guess getting back into them talking, they're talking some more. Thomas is like, no, I'm happy he's back. I just want to be good, and if he come back, I will welcome him back with open arms. No, you wouldn't. That's literally not how the story's going to work. And I heard tomorrow, apparently Hope gets affected by Thomas, so maybe it's going to lead to, I know where this is leading. This definitely sees something she shouldn't have. So hopefully we're finally going to get to the part of this show that I've been telling the Hope and Thomas fans that they're going to happen for months. The Hope might actually do something with Thomas. Maybe, possibly. And you know what's going to happen right after that? The same thing that has happened for the past 4 years. The same thing that's happened on every time this has happened before. She's going to feel bad about it, and we're going to get about 3 months of her crying about it to Liam. Trust me. Mark my words. That is what's going to happen. That's how this storyline's going in, ladies and gentlemen. There's not much else. I guess there may be not much else to say other than this. If you like Hope and Thomas together, why? Why? I would just like to know. What about these 2 people is so good to you that you think for some reason they should be together? And don't make it about Liam, because that seems to be your guys' main motivation here. That apparently the reason they should be together is because, well, he's not Liam. I get that Liam cheated on Hope a decade ago? Like a decade ago? I mean, there was a lot of circumstances that led him to cheating on Hope with Steffi. Watch the program, people. The episodes are available on the Bold and the Beautiful YouTube channel. Go watch the episode. You can go watch all of 2012. Go watch the episode. Comey, they're doing the storyline where Hope had their wedding in it. Where Hope and Liam had their wedding in Italy, and Hope finds out that Stephanie and Liam nearly slept together on their wedding night, on their wedding day, in their honeymoon suite, and she cries about it and acts like a child about it. So go watch that. Thomas is in there. He's played by Adam. He played by Adam. Yeah, I can never say people's last name, but that was back when Thomas was a man. Also, I made a comment a few of those episodes talking about that. So go do that, people. Go back and go watch episode 8152 of this program. You know what episode that is? That's the one where Steffi cries like a little baby because she's going to lose Beth. Well, I never called Phoebe one time. I said this episode was going to be a lot of Thomas bashing. If there's one episode of my review channel that I might regret, it's probably going to be this one, because I'm pretty sure I've said some stuff that may not look the best to some people. Even though I've tried to stress multiple times that these are my opinions on fictional characters. I just don't get it. I'm sorry. I just don't get it. I just can't see what am I missing here? Am I so patronizing and am I just so caught up in this because, well, I've watched this program for so long that I can't see something that someone who new watches it? I've had people who've never seen the show before watch it, and even they don't think Hope wants to be with Thomas. They're like, oh yeah, clearly she has some type of feelings for him, but clearly it's not love. It's more so to seem like a weird attraction to the creepy guy. I just don't know what to tell people. I just don't know why people just refuse to listen to my opinion. Oh yeah, because there are people on the internet who I got in a comment war today with two people who called me delusional because I don't like Thomas and Hope. Well, clearly you're obsessed with Thomas. Clearly you're jealous. No, I'm not. I don't give a shit about Thomas as a person. I want him off my television program. I would like him not to be on my show. I would like him not to be on the show I watch. I would like to not have to talk about him. I would like never have to talk about him again. I would like him to be a normal person. I would like him not to be obsessed with Hope. I would like Hope not to be an idiot. But we're not going to get that, so this is what we're stuck with, people. And tomorrow's going to be even worse. If you think today bad, just wait for tomorrow. It's not going to be good. All I'm going to say is this. I've been trying to say for so long that I have tried so hard to say that I think that Hope has feelings for Thomas. Okay, fine, happy, I admit. Hope has some type of feeling for Thomas. But the problem with what I'm trying to say is that Brad Bell writing her to have feelings for Thomas, but those feelings are not love. She's not falling in love with Thomas. That's what I'm trying to say. She possibly likes him. But tons of people like tons of people. I like a bunch of people. I've liked a bunch of women who are the same age as me, and I've dated none of them. I'm sure you guys have liked a bunch of women or a bunch of men, depending on who's watching this exactly. Just pick the opposite, Just pick whoever you like from that. I'm sure you've liked a bunch of people. Who you're attracted to that you've never slept with or been with, right? Like, what am I missing here? Am I just an idiot? I'm not an idiot. I graduated high school. Took me 19 years, but I did it. What am I missing here? Am I just young and naive because I've never been in a relationship, and if I had a girlfriend or been dumped, I would understand? I need to drink alcohol or something? I don't get it. What am I missing here, people? But I don't know what else to say other than, well, if you watch the end of this video and you think that what I'm saying, if you are offended, upset, mad, pissed off, annoyed, angry, or upset with me about my opinions about Thomas and Hope as a couple, just know this. I don't enjoy doing this. I don't enjoy having to make fun of people. I don't enjoy having to say horrible stuff about people. I don't even enjoy making fun of people. It's not me as a person. I was raised to always try to find the best in people, even in television shows, because it's like this show is written by somebody real, but I just can't do it. It's just not in me. I'm sorry. it's just that everything that's happened in my life has made me made me this way that I just can't that I just absolutely refuse to accept that Thomas Forster is a good person until he changes his ways. But I want everyone who watches this, and if you get to the end of the video, because I don't know what it's 30 minutes long, but if you get to the end of this video, I don't I don't hate anyone who plays any of these characters. I got nothing against them. I do dislike and hate Thomas Forster's character right now. But if this was 11 years ago, I would be one of Thomas's biggest supporters, and that's a fact. Trust me. Trust me on that. Ask anyone who was a fan of this show. If you find any of my friends, ask any of them who was a fan of this show with me about 10 years ago. They'll tell you, oh yeah, he was a big fan. Trust me, I was last day. Oh yeah, he was a big fan. Granted, they didn't call me last day because I had a real name, but none of you will ever find that out. Someday you might. Well, I guess there's nothing else left to say other than tomorrow is going to be even shittier. So get ready for that crappy video tomorrow where I batch Thomas 2.0. Anyway, all I got to say at the end of this is Thomas murdered Emma, and I'm going to continue to say that until someone can legitimately prove me wrong, or until we get a follow up to it. I got nothing else to say. Tune in tomorrow for my AEW Dynamite review, and also tune in tomorrow for my 15th B&B video, and then tune in next Monday for my WWE Backlash 2023 review, where I'm going to try to do a bunch of editing tricks and do an intro, make a whole bunch of editing and intro tricks. Everybody have a wonderful day.